right, so I went through and I finished typing up the second part of this paragraph. I went ahead and I did the same process with the blue that I did with the green. I made sure I used the right documentation for which sources were being used. I turned them into formal sentences and I tried to transition from topic to topic. So, according to Hannah and Tom, authors of this article, keeping batteries warm is important. Batteries last longer if they are warm, so keeping them as close as possible to the body is best. Other skills that are important in the winter, when up in the mountains, are how to manage snow. So, this is my transition. I'm going to take this opportunity right now to ask you to start color coding. Anytime you have a transition sentence where you're kind of moving from one topic to another, I'm going to ask that you highlight it in yellow because I need to know that you know when to use transition sentences. Um, so Ryan Wilkins, author of this article, notes that starting out early in the day makes walking on the snow easiest since it is frozen. Another way to handle snow is to melt it before drinking it to avoid putting something cold into the body, according to Ryan Hodekamer, author of the article Snow Worries. So I gave credit to Ryan Wilkins. I've given credit to Ryan Hodekamer. And then he also, this author, he also mentions that it is helpful to learn how to walk in snowshoes to balance on the snow. So I'm just going to remind you of some final things to look at for your paragraph. Tab over to indent. And then I went ahead back into this document that you've been working with, and I added in the rubric that I'm going to be using to grade it. So number one, you have to have a clear claim. And if you look up here, this is my topic sentence that I have spoken about before. Make sure that you, oops, not that. Make sure that you color your claim, your topic sentence orange. I need to know what you're going to be talking about. In this case, it's skill sets. The next part of the rubric is all the data and the evidence. So pretty much any time you talk about notes that you took from what you read, planning for low temperatures, it gets colder as people climb higher. Highlight that in green. Other factors that colder temperatures create are the difficulty of keeping supplies useful. I would call this a transition sentence because I'm mentioning one piece of this, that low temperatures is a problem because it gets colder as people climb, but there's other factors as well, and it's keeping supplies useful. So this is a transition sentence. And remember, transition sentences are glue. They hold your writing together. Here's another source, and this is what she says about the batteries. So this pretty much came from my notes. So highlight in green pretty much anything that came from your notes. We've got another transition to another author, another way to handle snow. I don't really have to highlight the whole sentence. I'm really just going to highlight this part because this is my transition into the next topic. And then this is from my source. These are the notes I took. Melt it before drinking it. So here's green again. And then he also mentions, so here's another transition. That's the glue. I'm kind of telling my audience, my reader, what I'm going to talk about next. Learning how to walk in snowshoes. So label, and you will have to color code your paragraph. This is my way of verifying, of making sure you understand all the parts that go into this. So the orange, I will look at for your claim. The data and evidence, actually I'm going to change this right now. If I go over here, I'm going to change this to orange. The data will be green. The transitions are going to be yellow. And then, that's not very yellow. And then this is grammar. Okay, so make sure that there are no use of you, Y-O-U. That's not a place. You can't use second person pronouns in MLA research